Okay, so before starting with your presentation, once again, I'm just going to give you like one more time a quick review of everything you have to take into account for this presentation. I believe you already, as I can see here, one file was well uploaded. Perhaps it's yours, so you have that done. You're going to work with your camera, right? You're going to use that presentation to explain the topic that you chose to talk about. So everything in terms of the instructions, I believe it's going to work without problems, all right? But let's take into account that everything is going to be evaluated. In terms of the rubric, remember that you're going to be evaluating on pronunciation, vocabulary, conjugation, and structures. Paraphrasing, it means you have to use your own words. That's evaluated here, 20. And here, 20, it means it's going to be 40 at least, just by using your words, and use the presentation to guide you only. Questions that I'm going to ask you after your presentation, that can be very general or very specific to see how you manage that topic. And then time management, right? Remember, I'm going to use my timer, sorry, but I'm not going to tell you when to stop. You have to decide when to do it, all right? But remember, you should have your timer as well to be sure that you have a maximum of 10 minutes and 30 seconds and a minimum of 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Everything more or less than that, again, is going to, well, all right, be being penalized. But that's it. That's the only thing I wanted to remind you. You're going to have this document. This is going to be yours. All right, and here I'm going to write down all the words related to the observations and pronunciation, vocabulary, and all the other things regarding the other, let's say, criteria that I evaluate. Okay, with that said, that's it on my side, Karela. If you're ready now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You can share yours so that we can start with your presentation. Good. So as soon as you're ready, you tell me that you start, and I'm going to start with the timer, and you also start with your timer, please.
Okay. Can I start, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to talk about the psychology of colors. This is a theory that study the impact that the colors could have in our feelings. And I want to talk about how we can use this theory, or how we can apply this in our marketing strategies. Okay, so what is the color psychology or the psychology of color theory? As I previously mentioned, the color psychology study the impact or the emotion, the physical or emotional impact that could have that a color could have in us as humans. It's not that easy as, for example, color red could provoke angry in the person, or the blue color could provoke peace, for example. But we can start with this base. Actually, there are some medical and scientific studies that, for example, with the colors that as I previously mentioned, the color red actually could increase the pressure in our blood, and the color blue could decrease it. Following this, there are some basic theories in architecture and design that also mention the the color influential in our feelings. For example, a house with warm colors could provoke could increase the energy in the family, while the cool colors could decrease this energy. They could provoke distraction for the study in the children, for example. So it's very important to take all of this into account. As I previously mentioned, I want to talk about the color psychology in marketing. How is this important for marketing and the branding and the branding of a company? And for a company, the color is present in our logo, our website, our ads, our palette of color, and so many ways. So since the color could provoke positive or negative emotions, we need, it's very important that we take into account the meaning or take into account what we can share, what we can provoke in our customer or in our employees or in our target. Sorry. Well, not to finish, but some tips or some advice of using color in our marketing strategies. To start is to learn the basic meaning of colors. As I previously mentioned, the meaning is not universal, but take into account that, for example, yellow is happiness, blue could provoke peace, red could provoke angry, and so on. It is a base for us to work in strategies, to work in a brand, to work in the message that we can share with our employees or with our customer or with our target. So to start, we need to learn the basic meaning of the colors. Analyze the emotions you want to provoke in your target. It's fair that we need to define what we want to provoke or what we want to share. For example, it's not the same a post with orange color. It's not the same. Try to transmit happiness or creativity, or, for example, a very serious message. So to make a post, for example, for our website, we need to understand what we want to share, what we want to provoke. If it's a institutional message, for example, it's good to use I am not sure how can I say, a corporative palette color. But if we want to provoke like a purchase decision, it's better to provoke, for example, happiness or prevent about a specific situation or so on. Take into account the cultural context. As I previously mentioned, the meaning is not universal. the color white, for example, is not the same here, where the meaning could be like peace, and in another countries the meaning could be the color white is usually used when people die. So it's very important to understand the social and cultural context of a specific country and a specific well, I am not sure if this is the term, but social class, because it could change. Be consistent with the message. If, for example, we are making our brand, and we choose a specific color to transmit, for example, creativity, and it's like or not creativity, but energized or very positive, emotions. We need to be consistent with the message that we are going to transmit. We cannot use those colors to share, for example, a sad message. So it's very important to have a palette of colors for different situations. Well, to finish, maybe we can also mention that in marketing, a purchase decisions first is emotional and later is logical. So the influential that color could have in the emotion is very important for the companies, and also for all the people that are behind the marketing strategies.
Great, perfect. Thank you, Michaela. Then let's then give you first, well, actually, no. Before giving you the feedback and some other details, now I'm going to ask you some questions. All right. Again, it can be general or it can be more specific, but it's going to be about everything that you talked about. Now, you were saying that colors, right? We cannot say that they are going to have the same effect on everybody, right? But we can take some general, let's say, patterns into account if we want to achieve certain objectives, right? It's not going to be the same as you were saying, right? If we want to make someone buy a product, that if we want someone to remember just the logo of that product or something like that, right? So it's going to be something different. So again, knowing that it's not the same for everybody, but taking into account the basic meanings that they can have, all right, what do you believe are colors that have to be avoided in selling anything you want to sell? Okay, or selling, I don't know, right? You tell me the product, but what is the let's say the palette or the set of colors that you should avoid if you want to make a person buy something in a specific? What do you say?
Well, I think well, to choose or well, to choose a color or to sell something as a service or a product, we need to understand the emotion behind the purchase, actually. So if, for example, if it is like a service, I am not sure, medical service, we need to choose something like colors, colors that can transmit a peaceful emotion, for example, blue or white or light blue. That the basic meaning is that we are safe. In the other side, if it's like something like I am not sure, food, for example. And usually the color, the emotion behind foods is hungry, um, I am not sure, happiness because we are with friends or family. So usually the companies or the people behind the strategies choose colors that are uh, in relation with this with those emotions.
Thank you, Michael. And now something again related to that one. Some people also say that besides using colors, they can also use some music or sounds to make people buy some things. Right? I heard about a study that was about some types of songs that were talking about something specific in certain places, right? In a supermarket. And in a place in the supermarket, they played a song that was talking about the products that were over there that made the customers more, let's say, likely to buy the products over there. Now, you didn't talk about sounds or music, but as you are talking about marketing, what do you think are other strategies that you can use along with colors to increment even more the percentage or the possibility of selling a product?
Well, this is one of my favorite topics. This is sensorial marketing. Um, uh, with color or visual image of the product of the service, we can put also the songs, the all that we can hear in the place, and some important point to me is also the uh, uh, all that we can perceive with our nose. Sorry, I forgot the word, but we can perceive with our nose. For example, some companies prepare their own fragrance to provoke the decision, the purchase decision to buy, for example, popcorn or chocolate or bread, something like that, cookies, etc., and so on. Um, uh, uh, all that all that is in relation with our sorry, with our irrational brain. I am not sure if we can say, if I can say it like this, but is very emotional, not logical. Could affect in the purchase decisions.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Michael. And the last one, all right, also related to that. And again, it's really interesting. I also love this type of topics. Perhaps you know even more. So among all those right senses, right, you have again visual aid or visual right stimuli that it can produce or provoke right someone to do something like buying a product, right? But which one do you know or do you believe is the strongest among them all? You have again sounds, you have visuals, you have again you have smell or fragrance or odors, right? Sense. You have even sometimes the touch, right? So among all the senses that we got, which one is the one that is going to produce more on a customer? It depends perhaps, but according to you, what is the one that can make a person like make a decision between all these senses?
Well, in my opinion, the sense of fragrance and the visual presentation are the the more important parts in a marketing strategies, because it's like the first impact that the customer is going to have, the visual presentation, the colors, or an interesting package, could 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 provoke an advantage over all other products, for example. And the fragrance, because it's in relation with our memories also, could provoke impulsive purchase decisions.
Okay, great, perfect. Thank you, Michaela. That's it. All right, now I'm going to give you my feedback. I'm going to need you to stop sharing your screen, please. I'm going to share mine, and I'm going to give you quick feedback so that we can go to the lesson and continue working. All right, so in general, again, I believe that it was really interesting. All right, psychology of colors. First, because it's something related to also something I do and I like, that it's psychology. And it's because it's interesting, right? Everything that you mentioned, perhaps in a certain way, can be related to neuroscience. And that's something also I also like a lot. I love. So it's interesting because of that, and also because you got to mention very interesting things, very interesting elements, and I believe that you were able to convey all the information in a correct way. All right, so it was great. Now, my main observations are just going to be in terms of vocabulary, conjugation, and structure. You only had two things in pronunciation, all right? Everything else was very good. Few details, but they are not going to be mistakes. Just these two words. Then in vocabulary, but again, everything else I believe is going to be great. Okay, from paraphrasing the questions, time also, as you can see here, I'm going to write it. It's 9 minutes, right, and 46 seconds. Okay, so everything seems to be great. So this is the only thing that is going to affect a little bit the score, because everything else seems to be perfect. Now, let's start first with pronunciation. You read this word with the stress in the first part, like employees, right? But remember that when you have double E, this is from French, you have to put emphasis in the last part. Okay, so it's going to be in employees, exactly, in the last part. And here, it's just a little mistake. Remember the use of the U and the A, so it's going to be understand, right? Under and stand. So to understand. Exactly. So let's repeat those two words, please.
Employees, to understand.
To understand, exactly. Okay, just those two. And remember that I'm going to ask you about these two words 2 more times so that I can mark them in green and I can delete those words. All right. Now here, perhaps you were saying that, but it was not clear. Here, you need to say previously. Okay. And here, like mentioned with ed, right? And it has to be very clear, the two of it. So as I previously mentioned, that's going to be the correct. Okay, so let's repeat that one, please.
As I previously mentioned.
Exactly. And with the ed at the end, mentioned.
As I previously mentioned.
Exactly. So why do we have the ly? Because previously is describing an action mentioned, right? So you need to use ly. Here, you need to have two options, but you say study. Here you have to say studies or studied, right? But you were talking in present, so it's going to be studies, right? It studies the impact of colors, right, in the customer's decision. All right, so let's repeat that one as well, please.
It studies the impact.
There you go. Now, you were continuing and you said the impact that the color, here it's better if you say that in plural because you're talking about color. So the impact that the colors, but that's not the mistake. The main mistake is this one. Have in, instead of in, is going to be on us. So the impact that the colors could have on us or on ourselves, you can say. Okay, but both of them work. Let's repeat that one, please.
The impact that the colors could have in us or in ourselves. Oh, exactly. On us, sorry.
Exactly, on. So it can be on us or on ourselves, but it has to be with us.
On us or ourselves.
Good. Then influential is an adjective. Here you are not saying an adjective, you're saying like a noun. So you have to say the influence. Okay, so the color influence in our feelings. All right, let's repeat that one, please.
The color influence in our feelings.
Good. Or you can say the influence of color, right? One of those two, but influential is like an adjective, right? For example, you can say colors are influential, right? But you say the influence of colors. And then this is a study in the children's, right? Here the same, study of or about the children, right? But without S, without the S in children's. Let's repeat that one, please.
A study in the children.
Or of or about, a study about the children.
A study about the children.
Good. Then angry is also an adjective, and you are describing nouns, right? Because you were saying happiness, sadness, how colors can describe. So what is the noun of angry? Is anger, right? Anger. So I'm going to write it here, just for you to see. I'm not writing the corrections, Michaela. Why? Because you need to remember, because on the next time I'm going to ask you about this, and you have to tell me what the mistake is. All right, that's why I'm not writing the corrections here. Like they are here, it's incorrect, but you have to remember how it is correct. Okay, so this one, it's not going to be angry, it has to be anger. Okay, so this color could provoke anger. Let's repeat that one, please.
This color could provoke anger.
Anger, exactly, right? Happiness, sadness, anger. And then we need to, you were looking for the words, right? But definite is not going to be, it's going to be define. We need to define. Let's repeat everything, please.
We need to define.
Define. And this is easy, right? Remember, as you have countries, plural, here is going to be order, right? In other countries. Instead of another, just order. Let's also repeat that. There you go, exactly. And that's it. Okay, so that's it in general. Everything else, again, it's very well done. Just be careful with these details. And that's it. I don't know if you have any questions about this feedback.
No, teacher, thank you.
All right, so remember, you have everything here, right? The rubric. So I'm going to evaluate just following this criteria. All right, so you know more or less, again, you did it great. Just this is the only thing that is going to affect, not a lot, but that's my only observation. We can go then to the next part. Let's finish, please, today's lesson that we got, that is to finish Unit 2. And we're going to do it right away by going back to the presentation that we're working. That is the second part of the strategies. Okay, we already worked the first part. We know that we have to work with the new vocabulary, you know that one. You already worked with the practice, right, recording the script 1 minute. So you already have that one. Now we have to work with this. This is really interesting, and this is going to be very short, but this is very important if you want to get more fluent in English. So let's read this, please. Learn the natural flow of English.
Okay. Being able to say individual words correctly is great, but the secret of speaking fluently lies in the flow of sentences. Whenever you read a piece of poetry, listen to a melodic song, or watch a hilarious sitcom, pay attention to the following. Linking. Notice how native speakers link words together, joining two sounds, making a sound to disappear, or changing a sound for a better flow. Give me, lead me, gonna, gota, should of, must of, and so on. Contraction. Contractions are shortened.
Michaela, I think I cannot listen to you. I'm going to be waiting. I think it just froze.
Sorry, teacher, I
Good.
had a problem.
Yes, don't worry. I was going to text you. So yes, you just stopped there. I imagine that you had a problem. So let's read from this part, please. Okay, I was listening to this reading from this part.
Oh, okay. Contractions are shortened forms of two words. For example, I am, he will, he'll, they have, they of, do not, don't. Stress, there are stressed syllables in a word and stressed words in the sentence. The ring is the overall result of stress, contractions, and linking. It is the ups and downs, the musical future of English.
All right, thank you, Michaela. So this is very important, okay? Again, this is something that everybody knows, but very few people apply. Linking perhaps is the most important, okay? I would say linking, of course, stress and rhythm, they are very important. Contractions also, but they give you like something that you know, okay? You can learn contractions from day number one. But linking is something that you don't learn in English, right, classes? It's something that you just learn by having conversations with native English speakers, right? And it's like this, that it's also very common, right? Give me, what is the real word or the real words for give me? Okay.
Uh, Give me.
Give me, right? Give plus me. Let me is let plus me. Gonna is going, right? Going to. Then gotta is going to be got to, right? But the real thing is have got to, like a obligation, right? I believe that we covered this to remember very well. Should have is should have, but this is how you read it, right? And must have. Again, this can be obvious, but it's very important because very few people get to connect the language in the way they are supposed to. All right. Also, stress, remember, very common mistakes are, for example, the word comfortable. That is incorrect, right? Many people say that comfortable, but it's not clear, and that's why even we believe that we're saying that correctly and they can understand. But if you speak faster and you say comfortable, perhaps you're going to create confusion in the overall, right? Because it should be connected like comfortable, right? So I'm comfortable to be here with you, right? So comfortable, the stress is in a different part. Okay, so stress, the linking, contractions, and the rhythm is how you read and how you sing the language, right? And it's the variations that you have. So in other words, is trying to make everything more connected, linked, short, but clear, right? Because if you want to be understood, you need to pronounce the words with the correct stress, with the correct way of the vowel. Because again, if you speak slowly and you make mistakes, you're going to be understood. But if you speak faster and you make the same mistakes, they are not going to understand what you're saying, right? Again, why? Because when you speak faster, you reduce the number of letters, words, and it's easy to misinterpret what you want to say. All right, so we're going to practice with this first. What do you can be reduced to what do you or what you, right? I believe we covered this again. I showed you, I think. What did you is what do you or what did you, right? So the difference here is what do you, and what did you for past. Okay, so it's very similar, but here you add the D. Okay, what you and what did you. So what did you do yesterday, right? What did you do yesterday? It's past, right? And what you do yes or what you do every day, that's for a present routine. Then here you have even one more. I'm going to can be I'm gonna just could be ma. I'm gonna tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm going there. I'm gonna. So it's going to be just nga, or ama. That's also one possibility. And also delete the letter D, or sorry, the T, and replace by a D, right? That also serves to speak faster. Little bottle city is more fluent than little bottle city, right? Because you need a pause over there. But let's try to repeat, please, this. How would you read all these contractions, or sorry, these linking words here, Mika?
Okay. What did you? I'm gonna. The instead of the for more fluency, little, bottle, city.
There you go. Thank you. Now we're going to do something interesting here. Um, I'm going to add one more here that I don't have. That is ama. All right, that's the last one. I'ma go there. Okay, and they say that when you have a conversation with a native English speaker from the United States and they are speaking fast, they say that. They don't say I'm going to, they say I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, I'm go there. I'm finished now. Okay, they say So let's try to use only the last one. What question can you ask me with what do you, but you have to pronounce it like this? What do you say?
Um, Sorry. Maybe what you do now? Um, what did you yesterday?
Good. One more time, please, the first one to be sure that it's correct. Remember, the first one is going to be present. So you have to put emphasis on the idea of routine because this is the simple present, right? So what can you add to make sure that this is present and that it related to a habit or to a repetitive action?
What you do? What did you, sorry. Um, what did you do right now? Maybe.
But remember that right now is not going to be correct because right now is for present continuous, right? Remember that this is the simple present. So I'm going to give you an example is what you like to listen, right? What you like to listen, right? It means in general, what's something that you like to listen every time you listen to music, right? So like that, one more example, please, about something in general, something that is not a routine, but it's not just now.
What you want to eat for breakfast?
Yes, what you want to eat for breakfast, right? Again, and that's what you're going to listen every time, at least in American English, that's going to be very common. Of course, not every time, but it's for you again to know that one. And if you know, it's just for practicing and to be sure the difference between what you and now what is you for past. What is a past question that you can ask?
What did you do yesterday?
Okay, yes. What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? What did you eat yesterday? What did you watched right yesterday? Anything that is past. Now, something that you are going to do in the future, please, Michaela, with Ama.
Um, I'm a consult with her now.
Okay, yes, I'm consult with her now. Instead of I'm gonna or I'm a consult, right? I'm gonna go there now. I'm gonna finish this now. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. Please wait for me. All right. So again, of course, in formal situations, right? If you are in a formal situation, you want to avoid this, okay? Because you want to be clear, right? At work, for example. But with friends or when you're practicing, you can try to play with these words. And that's it, okay? That's it. But now here it comes the practice. And this is something you're going to record in this time. I'm not going to listen to your recording now. I'm going to listen to it when I'm checking everything so that we have time now to finish everything. So you only have to read this as fast as you can, but not here, not now, right? You have to turn off your microphone. You're going to record now reading this. Okay, it's going to be very fast. Again, try to do it as fast as you can. Of course, it doesn't have to be like very, very fast, but as fast as you can and as fast as you're comfortable with. You have contractions, all right? So take those contractions into account, please. You have linking words. Take those linking words into account. You have informal words like because, but you are going to say just cause or cause, right? This is even more informal. So you have to pick. You have to say cause or cause. And you have more informal contractions. You want to come with me? Okay, I'll, contractions, linking words, and informal linking as well. Okay, so, and here once again, must have. So let me know please if you have any questions and if you are ready to record. You don't have a time limit. You only read this as fast as you can. Everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, ideas. When you finish, you upload it and let me know, please. All right? Let me know if you're ready to record, please, Michaela.
Okay, teacher.
All right. Yes, I think it's a little bit laggy. I can hear you a little bit laggy.
Yes, teacher.
Good. Let me turn off my camera just in case. I hear you very laggy now. I'm going to write it on the chat. All right, great. That's good. Let me see, please, if I got it. Actually, let me turn off my camera. So I hope that helps. My computer is okay. Good. I want to see if it's there. All right, remember it has to be in the second unit, right? So yes, you have 2 attachments so far. I imagine that the second one is from today's, well, practice. Yes, all right, 18, 19, this is 19, no, this is 16. This has to be it, I believe. Oh yes, today is 18. Yes, good. So it's here, Micaela. Now, let's see how we can do now. Because in the next part, I believe that you have to hear what I'm saying. But can you hear what I'm saying now, Micaela? Let me know, please. All right, so I don't know if you're going to be back in Michaela. Perhaps you're going to watch this class. I'm going to see. But in case you're not back, I'm just going to tell you what you have to do. And well, you should watch the class now. I'm going to send just in case the link and everything. And well, you have to just watch it and you have to record these activities. Okay, because I need this as part of your evaluation for the in-class activities. So very simple. In number 4, speech shadowing, you're going to watch a video because this is about practicing with listening, all right, to something. The recommendation is to watch the video first with subtitles, then without subtitles, and you have to listen to it and, well, practice. You have to repeat what that person is saying in the video. You have to try to imitate that, and you have to do that sentence by sentence, word by word. It says here, right? Play, listen, pause, speak, record. Optional, but now you're going to do it. It means that you're going to select, all right? This, in other words, speech shadowing is that you have to imitate. You have to listen to something and you have to repeat that. So here, okay, you're here, I believe. Michaela, let me know if you can hear me, please.
Sorry, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now very well. Can you hear me very well? I believe we still have some problems. All right, then just in case, I'm going to continue explaining. Michaela, let me do something. Okay. I'm going to just prepare a message just in case you join again. Okay, so I'm telling you to watch the class. I'm going to explain what you have to do, this last part of the class. And then if you join again, I'm going to ask you to submit the. Michaela, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, I'm writing in the chat now, Michaela. All right, so as you're going to be joining once again, speech shadowing was that you watch videos, you repeat, imitate what the person in the video or what people on the video are saying. It's important that you can try to imitate everything, all right? From the tone of the voice, the emotion that that person is transmitting, the accent, if it's possible, those pauses, all right, the fluency, everything is going to be very important to take into account over there. All right, I'm copying this and I'm pasting that. All right. And that's what you have to do on speech shadowing. All right, now I'm sharing the poll just in case you get to see this, Michaela. Let me relaunch this again. All right, now it means that here you have a video. You have to watch this video fully. It's just 2 minutes. And after watching that video, you have to select 30 seconds and you are going to imitate those 30 seconds. Again, you play, listen, pause, record. Play, listen, pause, record. Okay, 30 seconds for the video, but it has to be like that. Play, pause, record. Play, pause, record. And that's it. Again, you have to imitate everything from the pronunciation to the emotions and the stress of the words, the accents, everything that is possible for you to imitate. Self-talk is an extra thing that you can practice, of course, for you, always to have a conversation with yourself to tell you the activities that you're going to do here. This is optional. This is not graded. Thinking in English is the same. It's a good idea to avoid using English to think. So this is not something that you have to record. Now I'm going to, you have that one, I believe. Okay. And there's one more. I hope you can be back. All right, but in the meantime, that's also optional. And this is the last one. Now, I believe that we are not going to work here with you, all right, this story. So we're going to try to work on this together on Friday if it's possible. But what you can have until tomorrow, Michaela, is just, let's say, try to tell me a story, okay? You just tell me a story. And that's going to be it for number 7. Because here, okay, good, you are here. I'm sharing now the next part, okay, of the poll. That is for the second part, okay? So this is the last one, Michaela, just in case you are hearing, but you can watch the video afterwards. In number 7, please, you're going to tell a story. On Friday, we're going to practice this together. I'm going to tell a story for you, and you have to paraphrase my story. You have to tell me everything that you remember about it. But here in number 7, again, it's going to be 1 minute of you telling any story, okay? But it has to be, you have to try to make it very fluent. It means without a lot of pauses, all right? It has to be full of information. It has to be about something that you remember very well so that you can give me a lot of details on that story. Okay, so 1 minute maximum, and you upload that to Google Classroom. And this is another recommendation and another recommendation. All right, so it means that we're done. You only have to do 2 things in total. Michaela, please watch the class to have that as well. And that's it for now. I don't know if you can hear me now, just in case to finish the class. Okay, just in case, that's it. All right. All right, that's it, Michaela. Thank you. I hope you have a good night and see you on Friday. Bye bye.